What's going on, YouTube? Uberman here. Real quick, I've had a lot of people that are confused about the new purchase of the Chrysler 300C with the Hemi that gets horrible gas mileage. A lot of people are really confused about my purchase, and most people have been very positive about it, and I appreciate that, guys. There's some of you who've just been downright negative, and really, I know that it doesn't deserve my time, but for the people that are genuinely concerned about my purchase, those are the ones that I'm trying to reach out to, not the ones that are just talking trash. Okay? I saw a comment today that said soon, because of Uber's rates, I'll be living in my car. Let me tell you guys, you guys don't know my financial situation. Okay? You don't know how much I make. You don't know what my interest rate is. You don't know what my debt is. So how can anybody sit here and tell me that I'm going to get my car repossessed or that I'm going to be living in my car because I can't afford it? Guys, I'm 35 years old. I've successfully run my own business for over 11 years. I started it in 2004. I have been an entrepreneur, a sole proprietor for 11 plus years. I understand money, I understand business, and I can assure you I'm not going to be living in my car. My car is not going to be repossessed. I'm not going to get into the specifics of the Kia. I've got a lot of people asking questions, and it's something I'm absolutely not getting into. All that needs to be concerned about is that I'm no longer having to make the payments. Okay? I'm not making the payments on the Kia anymore. No, it did not get repossessed. Yet it is still getting paid for. And no, I did not sell it to somebody else. Okay? Basically, I could still pay for it. I have no issue paying the payments. I've been paying it. But let me tell you something about the Kia. Payment on that car is $425 a month. I still owe $20,000 on it, or 19 something. And the insurance is $260 to $280. Okay? Now, I still own the car. The car is still in my possession. I still have the keys, still have everything, okay? But I'm not having to make the payments on it anymore. I'm not having to pay the car insurance. I'm not having to pay the car payment. When you add the car payment and the car insurance, it comes out to almost what my rent is. Okay? To me, the car was not worth it. So, moving on. The minivan. What happened to the minivan? Okay. I still stand by the fact that it's a good idea to get a used car, a fairly cheap car, not too expensive, not too cheap, to use for Uber. What I did by buying the 300 is not what I recommend you guys do. Okay, I do not recommend you guys go out and get a 300C for Uber. Absolutely not. That's what I did for me because that's a car that I wanted as my daily driver, and it will get used for Uber. And yes, thanks to 5 and 7 times surges that we get routinely down here, and because I know how to work the surge to my advantage, I will make plenty of money. The car will do great, and because it's such a nice car, it should net me some really good ratings, hopefully. So, the minivan. Used cars break. Okay, that's a given. You guys know I put a lot of work into that thing, a lot of work and a lot of money. I had over $4,500 in that van. It had a recurring issue that could not be resolved. Dealer could not figure it out. The mechanic shop I took it to couldn't figure it out, and I am one hell of a mechanic, and I couldn't figure it out. It came down to where I was told, hey, $2,500 to $2,600 will replace this part, and it might be fixed. But it might not because it could be something else. It became a money pit. And sometimes, not all used cars are like this, guys. I've had a lot of cars in my day, but there are a few, and some of you have probably experienced it. You buy a car and it does nothing but drain you. You fix it and it breaks, fix it and it breaks. And sometimes there's one problem that you keep throwing money at and it just never gets resolved. That was the van. No matter how much money I threw into it, I could not get the issue resolved. And I had to sit there and think about it, and I decided it's time to let it go. I sold it for $2,500. I had over $4,500 in it. That's just parts. It does not include the labor that I personally had to put into that van. It hurt, but I couldn't keep chasing this problem and not getting it resolved. It was time to let the van go and move on to something else. So, I made a decision to get a new car. I did not go to the dealership looking for a 300C. I went to the dealership looking at a 2012 Ford Fusion. Turns out by the time I got there, it was already sold. This guy moves cars fast. I actually was there watching as they were putting the temp tags on the Fusion. Fusion drives off. So then I was like, okay, they've got a 2012 or 2013 Dodge Avenger. Very nice car, good gas mileage. I I saw it. I liked it. I was going to test drive it, but that 300C just, I saw it sitting there and I couldn't take my eyes off of it. Honestly, I thought to myself, I'm just going to test drive it. Don't actually want it. I'll just test drive it. I've never driven one. Never driven a Charger or a Challenger or anything that had a Hemi in it. Honestly, did not expect the amount of power that was behind that thing when, and I had a Corvette, guys. This thing's a monster. I got it on the highway, came back. I mean, I wasn't gone more than 15 minutes. I mean, I took it on a good test drive just because I wanted to enjoy it. But when I got back, I see the Avenger that I was supposed to be looking at. They're throwing temp tags on it. Somebody bought it. So the Avenger was gone. The Fusion was gone. That left one other car that I was interested in, which was a 2011 Impala. When I pulled back up, I'd already told him I might be interested in the Impala. I pulled up. He said, "Do you want to test drive the Impala?" And you know, I just looked at it, and nothing wrong with an Impala. It's a great car, but the 300 just, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? You ever see a woman or ladies, you ever see a guy, and it's just, yeah, it's like a connection. I get that with cars too, okay? I know that's weird, but I can feel like a connection with a car. And the 300, I couldn't. I had to have it. I could not walk away from it. You know, when I pulled up, I told him, this is what I want. I know it's not the best decision, but it's what I want, and it's what I choose to do. So for the people out there that are talking trash about I can't afford it or whatever, this is not a buy here, pay here either, guys. I don't know where you guys got the idea that I went to a buy here, pay here. I almost did because my credit is so bad I thought I would be forced to. This was my one alternative. Not a buy here, pay here. There is not a payment device in the car that turns the car off. It's not like that. I got traditional financing from a bank, just like most people do. So with that being said, guys, I hope you have a better understanding of why I did what I did. No, it may not make the most sense, and no, I am not recommending you do what I... Just because I go out and buy a big car that's a gas guzzler does not mean that I'm recommending it to you. I don't know where people get this from. Don't be confused about it, guys. Keep using your cheaper cars. Keep using your good gas mileage cars because that's where it's at. I am to a point where I'm doing pretty well. I'm feeling better about things. And I can tell you this. I owe the Charger, less than 50% on what I owe on the Kia. My payments, way cheaper than the Kia. My insurance, cheaper than the Kia. And the best part of this whole thing, the best part of it, honest to God, the Kia was an owner finance from an individual. It's not building my credit. It does nothing for me. I've never missed a payment. I've never been late, and I get no credit for it. This car, I will make my payments on time too, never be late, and this will actually help build my credit back up. So guys, any other questions, feel free to holler, but all this bull crap about I can't afford it, I'm going to live in my car, it's going to get repossessed, blah, blah, yeah, you don't know my financial situation. Okay, you don't. You don't know what my payments are. You don't know what my interest rate is. So please stop acting like you do. The rest of you guys, I hope I was able to answer some of your questions. Always comment below. And hey, if you want to sign up for Uber, try it out. You know, it's not going to hurt anything. Use the link below. Use my link. And most of the time, you'll get a cash bonus as well added to your first paycheck after you take your 20 trips. As always, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Be safe out there, and Uber on.